You might notice a bit of inconsistency in the video. I ran out of space. Anyway, this is a waterproof tackle box. It's a get them at any sporting goods store. You get them at Walmart. You get it anywhere. This particular one, right on top, one of the first things you come to. This is dedicated to the proposition of water. This has a little Sawyer water filtration system with all the stuff to clean it out. You've got the filter itself, you've got a squeeze bottle, they also have some water filtration tabs, of course a lighter, little fire stuff, some tape. There is alcohol pads down here. Just sanitize anything you're using. What you want to do if you're purifying water, you don't want to contaminate the stuff that you're purifying it with. So the alcohol medical prep pads allow you to kill off any little buggers that are on there. This actually takes up a little bit more space than it ought to in light of what's in there, but this waterproof container I think is worth the price. I actually want to replace this with a pump style water filter system that does a little more, it's a little more efficient, gets you a little more volume. For now, this is what it got, so it's what I'm going to use, and that is the most important thing. If you got it, use it. Let's see what else we got in here. Well, look at that. It's a big trash bag. Again, I label everything because that's just how I roll. Big trash bag. There's 10 billion uses for that too. You can use it to crawl into. You can fill it with leaves, use it as a ground mat. All kinds of stuff like that. What's this? Oh my gosh, it's another big trash bag. There's 2 of them in there. You don't have to keep 2 of them if you don't want to, but I do. These are just bloody cleansing wipes. If you've ever been out in the middle of nowhere and you're tromping through the woods and you find that after you've had your daily constitutional, that you start developing a case of swamp ass. This can be the difference between a pleasant jaunt in the woods and a miserable hike with fire raining down your butt cheeks. This is worth its weight in gold. It's not an accident that in, the Book of Eli, he was able to trade wet naps for charging his batteries, because this is a godsend. Trust me, you won't regret it if you put that in your pack. Any kind of baby wipes, anything like that, great addition. Takes up a little space, it's worth it. What else is in here? What we got? Oh, this is just, it's here because it's where I got. Little cheap little spice thing. You gotta cook up wild game, roadkill, whatever you find. Adding some spices makes it a bit more palatable. Let's see what else we got. 2 emergency food ration bars. These purport to be apple cinnamon flavored. I have not actually tested them out myself. My feeling is they probably don't quite taste like apples and cinnamon, but they do have lots of calories and they will keep you alive. They may not be 4-star, but you won't die. That's important. Next up, what have we got in here? This is a little Sterno stove. Now, I did have I believe it was a Primus little pump-up white fuel stove. I kept it, made a little deal for it. The problem was, I never seemed to be able to get it going without causing it to sort of erupt into flame. And, in emergent situations, erupting into flames, kind of a bad thing, in my opinion. It's just me, I'm just saying. But, so this little guy, I will say, you set it up, I recommend lowering it down. If you have winds, I have used this in higher winds, it will heat things up very well. But if you've got very cold temperatures and a lot of winds, you want to do some adjustments and get it closer to the flame. This is, I'm not going to open it up, it's a little Primus, it's a cooking little pot. I also keep 2 of the Sterno fuel canisters in this. It's a gel fuel, will not spill, but you light it, it stays lit, you put the lid on it, goes out, it's great. I'll probably do a video of that later on. Took my little daughter up on the mountain and made hot chocolate in the middle of a snowstorm with it. Worked great. Learned some valuable lessons, such as letting it lower down, keep it close to the flame, that sort of thing. So we got a little stove. Let's see what else we got. Oh, look at this. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole kit. This is the first aid and hygiene kit. Let's break this open. This is tied together with a bunch of Velcro strips. Velcro strips are great because obviously they stick together. You can also use them for all kinds of things. If you're building a shelter, you use these to tie it together. Little thing, this is multivitamins and some ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is my go-to for when things hurt. Use a lot of it. Anyone that's been in the military probably understands that. I do a whole lot of ibuprofen for everything above the waist. So let's open this up. Another little strip of Velcro there. Now on top here, you see a Ziploc bag. This is full of, I won't open it up, dish soap. There's some isopropyl alcohol, that's some disinfectant, some iodine-based disinfectant, various different things, a lighter stuck in there, as well as a handkerchief. And what's this? That seems an odd thing for a fellow to carry around. These are sanitary napkins, ladies' products. They are an indispensable part of any first aid kit. If you don't have tampons and maxi pads in your first aid kit, you're an idiot. They are designed to absorb mass quantities of liquid, and if you have a traumatic injury, that's what you have going on. Here's my kit. This is just the basic first aid and personal hygiene kit. Little bandage, bunch of alcohol prep pads. There's some gauze pads underneath that. This is latex gloves. If I'm helping somebody else, I'm putting gloves on because I don't want to catch whatever buggers you got running around in you. Half a bar of soap. These little guys are pill bottles. They're made to carry pills around. They are all labeled. They are waterproof, so if water gets in here, it will not destroy my pills. It's more, there is Motrin. There is, what's this? There's two things of Motrin. There is, what is that? Benadryl, I believe. Yes, Benadryl. There is acetaminophen and naproxen. I have just know the dosages on them myself. This is my personal kit, so I don't have to write down. Now you got some scissors. There are some butterfly bandages. Some what are those? Tweezers. That's what I'm trying to say. Some more gauze, band-aids, tampons. Tampons are just incredible things to have. They are a medical product, so they have to be made in a sterile environment. So you get them, they're sterile. You can use them as sediment filters for water. You can use them to absorb traumatic blood loss. There's just thousands of uses you can use. They're handy to have. Keep them in your kit. If you don't know why, you need to study more. So there you go. That's personal hygiene kit with all the random Velcro strips that hold it all together. What else is in here? Let's look in here. If you look down in there, you can see there's a hydration bladder in the back. Holds about 2 liters of water. I'll fill that up. I always, if I'm in my vehicle, I always have about 7 gallons of water in the vehicle. So what's this? This is sort of a general use pack. Now you notice I've got all these plastic kits like this. Now it seems like it's kind of spread all over the place. All of this stuff is segregated into individual pockets. It can be brought out one individual thing at a time. And when I need it, I can pull it out, get what I need, put it back in really quickly. I learned this lesson, honestly, when I went up and made hot chocolate with my daughter up on the mountain, because what I found is if you don't have it segregated, these plastic things take up a little more space, but if you don't have it such like that, you end up making a complete mess of your pack. Now, it's fine and dandy when you're working out of the back seat of your truck, but if you're actually in a situation where you need to use this and there's snow falling down, there's rain falling down, you don't have ideal circumstances, you don't want to have all your stuff thrown all over the ground at any given time. You want to be able to take out one thing at a time. So this is the next little pack that I got in there. This is sort of a general use pack. Of course, you see some more tampons because you never know when you're going to need them. There's some fire starter bricks. There's a lighter. There's a pencil sharpener. You can make tinder with that. There is actually a regular can opener. It's not as small as the little, what is it, the P38 or whatever it is. But honestly, I don't want to sit there and do this all day trying to open a can. If I find one, I can just roll it up. So emergency candles here. Eraser. Erasers are important, and it may seem like they're not important. If you're using electronic equipment and you have batteries that corrode because you're in not the most opportune environments, you can use an eraser to use it on the contacts inside the battery compartment any kind of electrical contact. It will clean the corrosion off the contact and allow you to use that piece of equipment. That's really important. There's a couple washcloths, fishing lines, some fishing hooks. This is a pistol cleaning kit. A fire starter. This has got strike anywhere matches, some tinder, some other things like that. Here's some gun oil, another maxi pad. Batteries. You'll notice the only batteries I have are AAA and AA. There's a reason for that. A lot of the high-end flashlights use the CR247, whatever it is, I forget, whatever odd and end battery. I make it a point that all of the flashlights, all of the little equipment that I use, either uses AAA or AA. The reason for that is I want to be able to bust into a house and steal the batteries out of any remote, any piece of consumer equipment that I can find and be able to power my stuff with it. I don't want to have to go find some specific weird fancy battery in order to make it work. So everything I have runs off AA's or AAA's. I keep a supply of them in here. I also have a large supply that I keep in my house. But this is my general cleanup, fire, etc. pack. So we'll close that back up, tuck it aside. What else are we going to find in this pack of mysteries? This is my food box. This is a waterproof kit, simply because I want my food to be waterproof. If you have to cross some crazy stuff, and there's a chance of things getting contaminated, same reason that I've got a waterproof kit on my water filtration. I want this stuff to be protected from any kind of bacteria or anything else that may be in water that we're going through. Let's open this up, see what we got. This is a lot of food. Now, I've got these vacuum-packed emergency food ration bars as well. I carry quite a bit of food. Now, part of the reason for that is if I'm stuck somewhere, there's going to be two things happening. I'm either going to be with my family, which is my wife, my little kids. I want to be able to feed everybody for as long as we go. If I don't have them with me, I'm trying to get to them. That's going to be my primary objective. I want to be able to, when I get to them, they may or may not have what they need. I want to be able to give them some calories to get them through. Now, here's some oatmeal packs. These are great. Rip the top off, fill them with boiling water. They cook themselves in that. There is some beef jerky. You see in there, there's rice. I throw the rice in there just to absorb any moisture that may get in there. There's not a lot of moisture, but, why not? Some fruit snacks. These are just high-calorie little fluff that I put in there, some peanuts, hot chocolate, nothing quite like the sort of psychological support that you get when you're in a cold, uncomfortable environment and you have a cup of hot chocolate. It's nice. A whole bunch of granola bars, spices, bouillon cubes. These are great. You're cooking up the raccoon that you found squashed in the road. You throw a bouillon cube in there. It makes it taste better. So here we go. That's my food packs. Food pack, whatever you want to call it. All right, what else we got in here? Let's look down in here. I think we're down to the bottom. This is my clothing. Now, once again, this is my wintertime pack. Let's make some room here. We'll move the stove back on top of the water filter. Put all that over there. So, this is a clothing pack. This is in the middle of the winter. Like I said, we're going into a place where I live. We get really cold, 20 below zeros, not unusual at all. So, I will probably already have coats and gloves and that sort of thing. In the wintertime, I have that in my truck with me at all times. In a waterproof bag, because needless to say, wintertime, you don't want to get things wet. Let's dig in here and see what we got. What's in there? Oh, it's a little camp towel. Help you dry off. That's always nice. What else do we got? I just ripped a bag. I'll have to put a new bag on that. Here we have, these are socks. There are 3 pairs of socks. I like to keep extra socks. Some really thick, crazy thick wool socks. Some other thick socks and just some hiking socks. What else we got? Let's dig it out here. Ah, yes, skivvies. Sort of. Undershirts. I've got a thermal undershirt, an additional t-shirt, and the last thing in here, we'll toss the dry bag on the ground, extra pair of pants, pair of long underwear, and there are some regular underwear tucked away kind of down inside of that. You can't see them. And that is the contents of my get home bag. There you have it. There you are. This, in my opinion, will get me where I need to be as long as I need to get there. Now, I will add, in addition to that, if I am hiking home, you're going to find a couple other things. Hooked around my waist is going to be this little bugger. These are slugs, 20 gauge, as well as a little 20 gauge shotgun. Big fan of the shotguns, simply because a shotgun is something that you can use all kinds of different ammo for it. You don't have to get a different gun for different applications. I can hunt deer with that. I can put some birdshot in it, hunt little game. I can put buckshot in it and run somebody off. There's a lot of options for me. But anyway, so that's all my stuff. That's everything that's in my bag on a daily basis when I go anywhere. Please feel free to comment, question, or anything else. Thank you much. Next, I'll probably talk about these two little bags. That's my larger first aid kit and my extra food bag.